I would not report the Eagles have internal unanimity on Hurts as QB1, but sources say the boss, Jeffrey Lurie, has instructed his group to prioritize making Hurts successful in 2021 as opposed to creating a true competition. Boy, that's really interesting. I want to come out here and let me start with you, Torrey. What is your reaction? Here's the owner, it seems, telling the people who he pays to make these decisions what decisions they should be making. What do you think?
I mean, if you watch what happened in Philadelphia this past season, it's been tough, right? I feel like this is a team that's learning from their mistakes. All we talked about over the past years, they have a quarterback. What's Carson going to do? He has to play well. And let's be honest, quarterbacks have the most fragile egos of any player in the league. Why? Because they are the only player on the team that can honestly say it's their team. And you want to protect that at all costs. So when you think about a young quarterback like Jalen Hurts, you want him to have the opportunity to go out there and feel like it's his team. You don't want him looking over his shoulder. Now, how long will that last? I'm not sure. But I feel like going into the offseason, into year one with this new staff, you want to make sure that everyone knows, including us on the outside of the locker room, that this is your guy going forward, because there's so many different things that people were able to talk about. We're talking about Philadelphia in a negative way, like it's a dysfunctional organization. It's not. It's really a first-class organization. So as an owner, sometimes you have to step in and say, this is what we're doing, because we have to fix this outcry from everyone else outside of our building.
I get what you're saying, but Marcus, is it the owner who should be doing that? Is it the owner who should be saying, we're going to make it clear that this is our guy and give him a chance to make it his team? Marcus?
Not at all, G. Not at all. The owner should never speak on that, because the owner is not going to be there on a day-to-day basis seeing these guys progress and really understanding if they can do that. Now, it's the responsibility of the people that the owner is paying to get Jalen Hurts ready. And I like an open endorsement. Like, there's nothing wrong with that for every team to do for the guy that they consider to be their quarterback. It could work in both ways, right? Jalen goes out and performs, it's great. And you perceivably have a guy going forward in the future. But also, like, from football is based in competition. Like, that is the premise of the whole game, especially when you start talking about the NFL. Dwight can speak to it. Torrey can speak to it. Every week there's a group of guys being brought in to see if they can get better at certain positions. That's what the league is about. Competition is healthy, like it's needed. And Jalen Hurts comes from a culture where he played at the University of Alabama, where competition is key. Like, you have to become a starter to be a starter, basically, when it comes to getting to the point where you can prove yourself as far as football. So Jalen has to do that. But I like the open endorsement to give him confidence, but they should bring in a vet just to make sure they covered in case he doesn't pan out.
Well, your point is a good one. I mean, Jalen Hurts legendarily lost his starting job at Alabama, and no one has ever handled anything better than he handled that. Dwight Freeney, what do you think?
Well, I have a hard time believing that the owner would go out there and say this without any conversation with the head coach. I think they had some type of conversation in belief that he will be the guy. And it's the owner's team. He can do what he wants as long as he's in congruent with the coaching staff. So if he decides to step out there and say something, we don't have to automatically assume he's doing that on his own with no one else knowing what's going on. I believe that he probably made the statement having that conversation with the head coach, knowing what his quarterback will be doing.
We'll see. Again, if you just very quickly look at the way they've handled their situation since the offseason, they fired the coach after a power struggle with the quarterback, brought in a new coach exclusively because he seemed to be the coach the quarterback wanted. Then the quarterback still wanted out. They traded him away for pennies on the dollar, and now the owner is deciding again who the quarterback is going to be. A recent track record suggests that maybe that isn't the best idea. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.